Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism series, Dhamma talk number 44. 40. Ultramundane consciousness. 40. Lokuttara jhāna. We have discussed 81 mundane consciousness and 8 ultramundane consciousness in our past several talks. Today we are going to discuss the 40 lokuttara jhāna. I will use the Pali word instead of ultramundane. The 20 path consciousness, mega jhāna, and 20 fruition consciousness, phala jhāna, make up the 8 lokuttara jhāna. 8 on the basic level. When expanded, it becomes 40. So, when expanded, this path consciousness or mega jhāna is called jhāna mega jhāna. One more word. We don't simply say mega jhāna, we say jhāna mega jhāna. So, to understand this jhāna mega jhāna, we need to go back and review what jhāna jhāna is and mega jhāna is. Jhāna jhāna is the mundane consciousness attained through concentration meditation, samatha meditation, and it takes the conceptual object of materiality and mentality as object of meditation. It has a maximum of 5, minimum of 2 jhāna factors. I assume that you are familiar with all these words from the last few talks. I won't go back and explain again. And mega jhāna is the ultramundane or lokuttara jhāna. Here it takes nibbana as an object, nibbana to contemplate, and it is achieved by practicing vipassana meditation on the true nature of mind and matter. Those two are entirely different. One is a concentration meditation. You use concentration meditation to attain jhāna jhāna. And you use vipassana meditation to attain mega jhāna. And it is sufficient to use simply mega jhāna when we are describing 8 lokuttara jhāna. If we want to just refer 8, saying the word mega jhāna is good enough. However, when expanded into 20 kinds, it is necessary to rename as jhāna mega jhāna to explain the specific nature of each mega jhāna path consciousness. Here, it's important here. Jhāna mega jhāna does not mean jhāna jhāna and mega jhāna arise together. It does not mean that at all, because according to the law of consciousness, mentality, 2 different types of consciousness cannot arise together. So, jhāna jhāna is one thing, mega jhāna is another thing. Entirely different. different process, different object, different levels, mundane, ultra-mundane. But a new term called jhāna mega citta. That is the lokuttara citta. But when we want to discuss 20 types of mega citta, we must call that way. Jhāna mega citta. So let's see how it comes about. So one is practicing vipassana meditation, and upon achieving all vipassana insight, you go through all the stages. At that moment, one attains mega citta, path consciousness. Before going through all the stages of vipassana, one cannot experience the path consciousness. And just for your information, this mega citta is associated with 36 cetasika, mental formation. Cetasika, mental formation, mental associates, altogether 52 of them. And here, there are 36 cetasika arises together with this mega citta. Out of this 36, a few citta that we know, a few mental factors or mental formation or cetasika that we know is 8 from the Eightfold Path. 8 cetasika, those cetasika, the right view, right thought, and so on. You know what it is. And the 5 jhāna factors. Remember jhāna factors? Applied application, sustained application, joy, happiness, and one-pointedness. Those are the 5 mental factors. So those 5 plus 8 from the Eightfold Path is already 13. Out of the 36, 13 are already there. I enumerate them because I'm quite sure you already know what they are. It is not jhāna citta arising with mega citta. That's the most important thing. It is simply the occurrence of the 5 factors, occurrence of the 5 factors of the jhāna with mega citta. Mega citta arising, and in there are 5 factors, what we call jhāna factors, are there. It is not jhāna citta is there. It is just the factors, qualities are there. The appearance of the 5 jhāna factors in the path consciousness is due to the contemplation on the nature of mind and matter. The method, the object that you use. Here, you use the mind and matter, contemplation on mind and matter in mega. Jhāna, you use things like kasina, for the objects of concentration meditation. Totally different objects to contemplate upon. Those are the distinction. You still have this 5 jhāna factors, but you get it by contemplating on the nature of mind and matter. That is the distinction. Yogi can attain the first mega and phala citta. Mega path, phala fruition. Yogi can attain the first mega and phala citta in many different approaches or various ways. We'll discuss a few of them here. Those who practice pure vipassana or dry vipassana meditation and They do not practice jhana at all. They go straight into the pure vipassana, no jhana. Those people contemplate on the nature of the mind and matter directly, and they attain 36 mental formation, cetasika, when attaining the first mega or Sotapaddi Citta, the first stream enterer, the consciousness of the first stream enterer. By practicing pure vipassana without any jhana, they attain the path consciousness with 36 cetasika. And out of that 36, we already say the 5. Vitakka, initial implication. Vichara, sustained application. Piti, joy. Sukha, happiness. And ekaggata, one-pointedness. Out of the 36, those 5 are there. When you become a Sotapanna, you have these 5 mental qualities. As they have these 5 mental qualities, the first path consciousness resembles. The word is resemble. The first path consciousness resemble the first jhana citta of the fine material ram, rupa vasara ram, fine material ram, brahma ram, in terms of the 5 jhana factors. Not the jhana itself, the factors. These 5 jhana factors, jhanas, are mostly arising in the fine material Brahma ram. And when you become Sotapanna, you have all the qualities of those things, but not as a jhana consciousness. I'm stressing this point from various angles. Therefore, the first mega citta is called the first jhana mega citta. As soon as you get the path, whether you put the name or not, the word jhana, you have the qualities of the first jhana with it for the first mega or path consciousness. So that's one way, straight, dry, pure vipassana. Some yogi practice vipassana by contemplating on miscellaneous mind and matter formation, which means you might be meditating on arising and falling of the abdomen, or the breath, or the feelings, pain, and so on. Those are called miscellaneous mind and matter formation of various types. In other words, you can use any one of these methods, even though they have attained the first jhana. So the difference is, the dry one, they have no jhana at all. But this second group of yogis already have attained the first jhana. But they don't use it at all and go and observe the nature of mind and matter. And their mega citta will be exactly the same, which is the first jhana mega citta. Whether you go by the dry run, or whether you have attained jhana and then the miscellaneous formation, the end results are the same, the first jhana mega citta. And there's another method or another approach. Some, they have already attained the jhana. Okay. In other words, they practice concentration, meditation, and have attained first jhana. And what they do was, they enter into the jhana and emerge out of it, get out of it. Purposely get into it and get out of it. And then contemplates on the 5 aggregates. With that approach, with that method, their mega citta is the same thing, the first jhāna mega citta. It's just that different types of yogis approach different ways. Let's go to another approach. A yogi who already has attained first jhana, a yogi may enter the jhana and emerge out of it and practice vipassana. This time he takes the first jhana citta as the object of meditation. He doesn't take formations or five aggregates. He takes the first jhana consciousness itself, use it as an object of meditation, and contemplate upon it to see the three characteristics in the jhana citta itself. So they don't observe too many objects. They observe the first jhana consciousness itself, contemplate upon it to see the anicca, dukkha, anattā. And they will achieve the same goal, the first jhana mega citta. So these are the few approaches based on the yogi's wishes, desire or capability. Without any jhana, you can get it. With jhana, without using jhana, you can get the same sotapanna. With the jhana, you contemplate upon the jhana consciousness itself, you can still become the sotapanna. And that sotapanna is called the first jhana mega citta. So we are only talking about the sotapanna, the first noble person, stream enterer. So as a stream enterer, this sotapanna, they have the path consciousness. So depending on the predisposition of the yogi, some yogi have attained first jhana, some may have attained second jhana, some may have attained third jhana, fourth jhana, or even fifth jhana, because they practice jhana. So some have access to first, some second, third, fourth, fifth. Because of that, depending on the predisposition of the yogi in terms of jhana, when they attain the sotapanna mega citta, one will be with first jhana mega citta, another person will be second jhana mega citta, third jhana mega citta, fourth, and then fifth jhana mega citta. So based on the association of the jhanic factors are different, there are 5 kinds of sotapanna. 5 kinds of sotapanna. That's how one sotapanna becomes 5 based on the content of the jhanic factors. And similarly, you can apply the same principle to the sakadagami, once returner. So, sakadagami mega citta, they have the 5 kinds based on the quality of the jhana factors. And also anagami, non-returner. From 1, it can expand to 5 based on the qualities of the jhanic factors. And finally, of course, arahata mega, destroyer of all mental defilements. They also have 5 different types of arahata mega consciousness. And we have already said the first jhana mega citta associated with 36 mental formation or mental factors. The second associated with 35, the third with 34, the fourth with 33, and the fifth with 33. Because whenever the jhana got higher and higher, the factors become less and less. First jhana, 5 factors. Second jhana, 4 factors. Third jhana, 3 factors. Fourth jhana, 2 factors. Fifth jhana, 2 factors. Because of that, these cetasika, mental factors, become less and less. The higher you go, the less they become. We talk about the fourth and the fifth. They are the 2 jhana factors. Fourth and fifth only have 2 jhana factors. Why fourth and fifth, the same 2 too? Because in the fourth jhana, there is happiness and one-pointedness, sukha and ekaggata of the fourth rupa jhana. Accompany the fourth jhana mega citta. Happiness and one-pointedness accompany the fourth jhana mega citta. And in the fifth jhana mega citta, is accompanied by equanimity and one-pointedness. Sukha, happiness is replaced by equanimity. They are different, but in terms of the jhana factors, they are the same 2 and 2. And these two mega citta resemble the jhana factors of the fifth rupa vasara jhana, fine material jhana, and arupa vasara jhana, immaterial jhana. They resemble that. They are not it, but they resembled it. Even though the 4 arupa jhana, immaterial jhana, are normally placed as 6, 7, 8, 9. The first rupa, material 1 is 1 to 5. Immaterial is 6 to 9, 9 jhanas. Even though they are positioned like that, because of the types of objects and so on, or difficulty to practice. Equanimity and one-pointedness is called the fifth jhana, because fifth rupa jhana has 2 mental factors, and also fifth arupa, all arupa jhanas are called the fifth, because they only have 2 mental factors. So they all fall into the fifth jhana factors. The same principle is valid for the phala citta, fruition consciousness. The 4 fruition consciousness phala citta can be expanded into 20 phala citta, the same way we had explained in the mega citta, based on the association with the jhana factors of the 5 kinds of jhana. So, it's interesting to know 4 arupa jhana, when it looks from the point of jhanic factors, they are considered the 5th jhana, even though they might be called 6, 7, 8, and 9. A little extra information. The above is the simplest explanation of attaining different jhana mega citta or path consciousness, and how 8 types of ultra-mundane consciousness become 40 ultra-mundane consciousness. We have gone through all 89 and 121 consciousness. The purpose of going through all these 121 consciousness and 52 types of cetasika, mental factors or mental formation. What's the purpose? Why do we go through there? It's to show that consciousness and mental factors are not a soul, it's not a self, but it's simply a mental phenomenon that operates with its specific law, not random, very specific. We have gone through all these things so you can see their inner workings. Just like a machine, just like a computer, a mental computer, they are operating like a clockwork with all its rules and regulations and system. When it is operating like that, you can see that it is not a soul. You can see it's not a self, which we call anattā. The understanding of these complexity of their inner workings and operation give you the understanding of the concept of anattā, no soul, non-self. The concept of anattā, no soul, non-self. Anattā is one of the three characteristics. Anicca is one, dukkha is another, anattā is the third. Anattā is one of the three characteristics of mind and matter. Or simply put, what we call a living being. Living being, that's why we said, or the Buddhist said, there's no self and there's no soul. By intricately understanding all these in details, give you the understanding. This is not random. This is operating according to a specific law. We know the material law because of the physics and chemistry. No argument. But nobody can touch the mental law. And this is how Buddha explained us the law of the mind, consciousness and mental factors. By understanding it, number one, you come closer to understanding of the no soul, non-self. And also, by understanding these in detail about mind, about consciousness, types of consciousness, especially types of mental factors. For serious practitioners who are fairly advanced, you can screen your mind. You can screen oneself and figure out what kind of unwholesome consciousness are still with you, what kind of consciousness you have already abandoned, what kind of unwholesomeness that you need to work on. In a very specific nature, one can analyze oneself of the wholesomeness, unwholesomeness, things to abandon, and what things you have already abandoned, and work your way through. And you can figure out where you are by yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you if you know how to gauge it. May all of you be able to practice mindfulness insight meditation, and may you be able to attain Ariya status as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.